You're listening to Sonny's Monday Motivation here on loudmouthradio.com. 30.7 million small businesses in the U.S., creating 1.5 million jobs annually. Small business accounts for 64% of new job creation in the U.S. There's strength in numbers. No matter what we face, know that there's strength in us. Because of you, we're able, we're capable, we're resilient, and we are available because we are small business. And together, we're the economy. What's up, y'all? What's going on? It's your host, Sonny, and it is another wonderful time to do what you already know what it is. We are having a wonderful Monday already. I'm gonna set claim and set the standard today for you, just in case you might have rolled out the bed, fell out the bed, slowly got out the bed, whatever it looked like for you today. Right? Because this is a Sonny's Monday motivational segment. And as always, I am so grateful to have your attention, have this opportunity to speak to you. It is early on the West Coast, and I'm extremely happy that the sun is shining. It's fall. It's upon us, guys. So at this point in time, you've already experienced your week of time change. You've noticed the pattern in which things that you may have gotten done maybe a little bit sooner may have been affected because of the time change. Because I'm going to tell you, for one thing I know for sure, is that the weirdest thing, we fall back an hour, but I promise you, it seems like it gets darker 2 or 3 hours earlier. Is it just me? Okay, we're not going to even ask that question because we kind of know what that means. It's not up for debate. It is what it is, right? But that doesn't take away from the fact of recognizing something intuitively, right? Today, I want to just start off saying that this earlier week, I was having a conversation with a friend in reference to just some life stuff, and in the midst of that conversation, we kind of stumbled upon a catchphrase or a word that a lot of times embodies what people endure on a day-to-day basis, and that word was courage. And I've been one of those people that had a choice word, I feel, too, a lot of times, which for most people, you see it all the time. It's a very common word, which is believe. But the other day, my friend said something about courage. And I said, you can always work to believe whatever you set your goals to, but definitely courage is a part of that synonymously, right? Because you have to have courage. Even if you can have belief, but not enough courage to follow through on something that you believe for yourself or that you want for yourself. It requires action, and that action can happen physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. It could come across in so many ways. And what I mean by that is that just having the courage to follow through on something, to even ask a question, to maybe put yourself out there. Maybe there's something that you didn't know, and you wanted to know how do you approach it, or what should I do in regards to the situation, or you just don't have a clue. It takes courage to even open and admit that. And so it's this vague thing that most of us have to work through or work towards on a day-to-day basis, but it has become such a common space and place that sometimes you may not even recognize that you're doing something intrinsically to allow yourself to move forward. So, guys, I'd like to just kind of touch on some of that real quick and give you this 10 to 15 minutes of fabulousness, of conversation that hopefully is going to be a blessing to you today. Is that all right? All right. So, one of the things that I will say that I have always been, even from a kid, I always remember noticing quotes, or I would read something, or a movie. I would watch something in a movie, and there would always be a line or two that would stick out, and it would become something I would hold on to, right? I think about how courage is something a lot of times you might have to hold on to, right? It's small steps that you're taking in the right direction, and they're consistent of things that most likely is probably bigger than you, or something that can feel so intimidating. A lot of times our minds will create a scenario that we haven't even reached or fully obtained. But in our mind's eye, we may come across something and feel like, because it's a little complicated, it feels tricky, it's uncharted. It could be any aspect of thought, and you have to sometimes dig within and recognize, oh, maybe it's just not as comfortable approaching this, or talking about this, or thinking about this, or taking action on it. But something has to move you towards the action of moving through it, or taking note of it, or mentioning it, or just showing up. And that, my friend, is courage. Something so minor. I guess that's like the mustard seed piece, right? Um, I think that, having conversations like these with people, and then being able to come and talk about them with you, gives the opportunity for just recollection of how people are all dealing with their own stuff, and you'll never know unless someone too has the courage to share. Things that are sometimes not of anybody else's existence, that may not consist of your outside world, but for you to be able to say or recognize that I'm struggling with something, or I have something that I'm challenged with, or something I'm just totally afraid to do, right? It could be so many aspects. And I think that it's so important that we recognize sometimes the things that we have to work to overachieve what we're looking and setting our goals for. So when you are in the midst of, working through your day, whether it's some type of goal or some type of, um, I don't know, you might have a job that requires you to do certain things, and you're part of a team, right? And, maybe there's a large requirement of you. Maybe there's something that you have to do. You're on a deadline. You have to get it done. And today you find yourself, facing it. Maybe you're staring it down. Maybe it's getting closer to the point of completion. Or maybe you're not there. Maybe you have not been able to cycle through whatever it is that has caused you to feel challenged. I just want to encourage you to, sometimes get still, get quiet, find a space within yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical place that you go. But, if you can just get still enough, get quiet, listen to your breath, right? And this is ironic. I'm sharing this with you because I did have a very wonderful experience on Friday that allowed me to have an outdoor yoga meditation experience. When I tell you, it was so phenomenal. It was chilly because it was at night. The sun had dropped. And we were all, it was a group opportunity open to the public, which allowed us to, in unison, do yoga, meditate, and there was also this opportunity to listen, which I never had this experience, with a sound bowl. It was just wonderful, right? It's amazing how the human consciousness will connect to things prior to even physically or consciously recognizing what the subconscious has already garnered to be important to you, or to draw to, magnetize to you. So if you want to, sometimes get ahead or break through something, sometimes you have to be still, right? I know for me, that can be a challenge. Don't know about anybody else, but for me, that can be a challenge, right? Not that I don't know how to sit still, but sometimes making the time to make yourself be still. There's a difference, right? Um, and I think that what we come to find is that, if we allow life to pull us and move us and take us and live, instead of living life, we're letting life live us. These are some of the things that definitely make just the opportunity to have courage become even more challenging, because there's always something constantly that's going to be moving around you. There's always going to be something going on. So when you have the ability to lessen your load, lighten up your moments, actually quiet the noise. Sometimes the noise can be so loud around you. And sometimes it's even in our heads, that we have so much going on and so much movement and so much activity that it makes it harder to focus and concentrate. So today, I think that if anything you can do today to make your day feel a little bit different, is take the time today to maybe ask yourself some questions internally, right? And see what comes out of that. Ask the question internally. You don't have to verbalize it. Maybe you write it down and you sit with it and just kind of ponder in thought, what it is that may be of a challenge to you, and find the moment in which you can within yourself to get the answer, to even have enough courage to explore it. So that for you could be in silence. Maybe you need to write down your answers. Maybe you need to um, sing, hum, meditate even deeper with music, sounds, water, whatever it is. I just want to give you an opportunity to challenge something within you that may be that has maybe had you stumped, or maybe had you feeling like you have yet to overcome it or achieve it, and just work from the pit of your your inner self, to allow you to be able to surface whatever that is. And it could be something that's an internal challenge. It doesn't have to be something outside of yourself. And I just want to ask you to recognize that you have the ability, that the courage just to address it in itself is such a higher achievement, that you're already on your way to getting to a place where you need to be with it, right? So I actually want to say this. Even for myself, I find myself more now than ever debating on different things that I know I need to do, especially when there's time limitations. And I'm a procrastinator, I'm going to be honest. And when you have procrastination kind of a lingering situation at times, especially when it's stuff you need to do, it can be a challenge. And sometimes it could definitely be a fear-based situation that stops you from moving forward. So it's things like this that I find that you will, chum up or bring to the surface, and hopefully you'll not be so judgmental on yourself, right? And because I promise you, there's this quote I'm looking at that says, the world is going to judge you no matter what you do. So live your life the way you want to, right? And that takes courage. So each one of us have creative ability. We were born to be creators. We created our existence to come into this earth. So then and therefore, we all have the ability to be able to overcome and do more things. Sorry, I decided to get on air and cough, but but remember this: um, you are every bit of what you believe yourself to be, even if it doesn't look like it right now. You're every bit of what you believe yourself to be. So I just want to encourage you to explore the deeper parts of yourself and just go and be great today, whatever that looks like. because I could continue this conversation way longer than the time period that I'm allowing myself today. But I'm going to conclude this conversation because I do want you to get your day going as well as my own. I already told y'all I tend to procrastinate, but not today, auntie. I am not claiming that at this moment. I'm actually being 5 speeds ahead. So, guys, I want to just have you have a wonderful Monday. Hopefully that your week will start off strong. You get the things necessary, jot down your goals for the week, put your calendar in place, whatever it is that it takes for you to get it going and achieve your goals. I'm here for it, and you got my support. And as well as I hope I got yours. Good synergy means good energy, right? All right, guys, let's make today count. Y'all have a wonderful day.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network. No matter the time or the season, we're open and available 24/7. Shouldn't your dealership be too? Carumba.com, the convenient online used vehicle marketplace. Register your independent dealership now.